Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Coco Crochet. Christmas is approaching and I want to get prepared for the elf on the shelf this year. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make this Christmas elf. This video is part 1. We will be making the arms and the legs. This is what the elf look like when you finish. The materials needed in this part is the yarn. I'm using the tan brown color for the skin. You can also use other colors if you prefer. Also in this tutorial, I'll be using the white and the green for the upper body's clothes color. You can also use red and white or different color combination. The crochet hook, I'll be using 2.5mm in this tutorial. You can also use other sizes, the scissors, the stitch marker to make it easier to count and avoid mistakes. Once you got everything ready, we'll start crocheting. Start on the brown yarn, your skin color. Make the hand, so make the double loop magic circle start. Wrap the yarn around the middle finger twice. Hold the yarn between your middle and ring finger. Then insert the hook through both loops. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again, pull it through. These 2 stitches won't be counted in the stitches we'll be working on. Now start the first round by making 6 singles. 1. This single just formed the first stitch on this round. We can put the marker on it to avoid making mistakes, as we'll be connecting back to this first stitch. If you are more experienced and you can tell which stitch is the first stitch, you don't have to use the marker. And then keep going, insert back into the circle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we'll pull tight on the end to bring the stitches into a circle. Because we started the magic circle with 2 loops, we'll need to pull 1 loop tight first, that's not connected to the loose end directly, and then pull on the loose end to bring the stitches together. Now wrap the yarn back to the left hand. We'll connect to the start to finish the first round. So insert into the first stitch where the marker is. Slip stitch, pull it all the way through. Might be a bit tight. And then chain 1. Now this round is finished. We can start on the second round doing 2 singles and increasing 1 single combination. So insert into the first stitch of the last round where the marker is, make a single. This is the first stitch on the second round. We'll move the marker up and then keep going into the next stitch, make the second single. Then increasing a single, so into the next stitch, make a single. Then insert into the same place, make the second single. This is 1 combo, we'll repeat. Next stitch, 1 single. Into the next stitch, 1 single. And then increasing a single, into the next stitch, 1 single. And then into the same spot, the second single. We have increased 2 stitches on this round, should have 8 stitches now. Then connect to the start, insert into the first stitch where the marker is. Slip stitch. And then chain 1. Now this round is finished. We'll start on the third round doing 8 singles, 1 single into every stitch. Insert into the first stitch, make a single. Same thing, move the marker onto the first stitch of the third round and then keep going into the next stitch. 2, 3, going all around. I'm gonna speed up here. After you finish 8 singles, we'll connect to the start again. Insert into the first stitch where the marker is, slip stitch, and then chain 1. Now start on the 4th round, making the thumb part. This time we're inserting into the first stitch, make a single, and then move the marker onto the first stitch of the 4th round. Then we're gonna decrease a single, so into the next stitch, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over again, pull through all 3 loops. That's a decreasing single. Next we're gonna do 3 unfinished double crochet into the same spot, so yarn over, into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over again, pull through 2 loops, left with 2 loops on the hook. That's 1 unfinished double crochet. Then repeat into the same place, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, left with 3 loops on the hook. That's 2 unfinished double crochet. One more time, into the same spot, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. Now we have 4 loops left, 3 unfinished double crochet, yarn over again, and pull through all the loops on the hook. So that's 3 unfinished double crochet that forms the thumb of the hand. And then keep going into the next stitch, make a single, then decrease a single, into the next stitch, pull up a loop, next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over again, pull through all 3 loops. Into the next stitch, make a single. This round we decreased 2 stitches, should have 6 stitches left. Connect to the start, insert into the first stitch, slip stitch, and then chain 1. Now start on the 5th round, doing 6 singles, 1 single into each stitch. 1, move the marker up onto the first stitch of the 5th round, and then keep going until you finish 6 singles on this round. After 6 singles, connect to the start with a slip stitch and then chain 1. Same thing with the 6th round, 6 singles, 1 single into every stitch. This time on the last single, we'll leave it unfinished with 2 loops on the hook. Then we're going to change the yarn to green for the upper body's close part. So wrap the green yarn on the left hand. This time, we yarn over the green, pull through both loops to finish the last single. And we'll pull tight on both ends. And then connect to the start to finish this round. Insert into the first stitch where the marker is, slip stitch, chain 1. Now start on the 7th round, doing 6 singles, 1 single into every stitch. I'll speed up here, this time working on the green yarn. After you finish 6 singles, same thing, connect to the start with a slip stitch and then chain 1. We won't be needing the brown yarn anymore, so we can cut the yarn off and hide it inside. Then the 8th round, same thing, 6 singles, 1 single into every stitch. I'm speeding up here. Then we'll be switching the yarn to the white. So same thing, we'll leave the last single unfinished with 2 loops on the hook. Change the yarn to the white. So yarn over the white, pull through both loops to finish the last single, and then connect to the start, insert into the first stitch where the marker is, slip stitch, and then chain 1. Same thing with the 9th and the 10th round, 6 singles on each round, working on the white yarn. And the last single on the 10th round, we'll change the yarn back to the grain. I'm going to speed up the process of changing yarn as well. If you're unsure about how to change yarn, you can go back to the last few minutes and slow the video down. Same thing with the 11th and the 12th round. 6 singles each round, working on the grain. And on the last single of the 12th round, we'll change the yarn back to white. After you change the yarn, the 13th and the 14th round, it's 6 singles working on the white yarn. And then one more time on the last single of the 14th round, change yarn to grain and working on the grain yarn 15th and 16th round, 6 singles for each round. After you finish the 16th round, we'll connect to the start with a slip stitch and then chain 1. Now one hand is finished, we can go ahead to cut the white and the grain yarn off and pull it all the way through. We can also go back and double check we have 16 rounds together, counting from the bottom. I'll use the stick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And use the same pattern, make another hand and make sure both hands are the same, have 16 rounds in total. And with the leftover yarn, we can just tuck them inside to hide them. Same with the other hands. Now both hands are finished. We'll continue the video to make the legs. The legs are very easy, 18 rounds of singles, 6 singles each round. We'll be using the skin color. So same thing, we'll make the magic circle start. First round, 6 singles. Put the marker on the first single, and after you finish 6 singles on the first round, pull the loose end tight. Bring the 6 stitches into a circle, then connect to the start with a slip stitch, and then chain 1. Then the second to the 18th round is the same, 6 singles on each round. I will speed up here and meet you once you finish the 18th round. So on the 18th round, we'll change the color to red, making the pants. If you're using the other combination, you can also change the color to grain instead. So leave the last single unfinished with 2 loops on the hook. We're going to change the yarn to red in this tutorial. So wrap the red yarn on your left hand, yarn over the red, pull through both loops to finish the last single, and then connect to the start, slip stitch, and then chain 1. Now we can start on the 19th round, 2 singles into every stitch. We don't need the brown yarn anymore. We can just cut the yarn off and hide it as we go. Now working on the red, into the first stitch, make a single. And same thing, we'll move the marker up. Then into the same spot, make another single, and then repeat 2 singles into every stitch until you finish this round. So this round we increased 6 stitches and should now have 12 stitches. After you finish the 12th stitch, connect to the start with a slip stitch and then chain 1. Now the 20th round we'll be working on the back loop only, doing 12 singles, 1 single into every stitch. So insert into the back loop of the first stitch where the marker is, I'll take the marker out to make it easier to insert. So just into the back loop, make a single, move the marker onto the first stitch of the 20th round, and then keep going, working on the back loop only, the loop that's away from you. One single into every stitch until you finish this round. And after you finish this round, we can see there is one round of front loop left on the outside, which we'll be working on later. And now keep going, connect to the start to finish this round. Slip stitch and then chain 1. Now the 21 to the 25th round, we're working through both loops, one single into every stitch, 12 singles for each round. I will speed up here and meet you after you finish these 5 rounds. After you finish the last round, connect to the start with a slip stitch and then chain 1. Now we can cut the yarn off and pull it all the way through. To make the brim part of the pants, I will use the same color, the red in this tutorial, and again you can use green instead. Go back to the 20th round where we have one round of the front loop left, working on the front loop only. So insert into the front loop of any stitch, yarn over the red, pull it through and then chain 1. Now make half double crochet. So yarn over, insert into the first stitch where we entered. You can hide the end by placing it on top of the hook. Yarn over the red, pull up a loop, and then yarn over again, pull through all 3 loops. That's one half double crochet. We can put the marker to the first stitch that's formed on the top, and then keep going into the next stitch, half double crochet, and going through this round, working on the front loop only, making one half double crochet into every stitch until you finish this round. After you finish the last half double crochet, connect to the start, so where we put the marker in the beginning. Same thing, finish this round with a slip stitch and then chain 1. Now we can cut the yarn off and pull it all the way through. This is one leg finished. We can hide the end with the yarn needle. If you have questions about how to hide the ends with the yarn needle, check out the tutorial in the right corner. That video is a lot slower and you can see it more clearly on this step of hiding the yarn. Over here I've speeded up. After you finish one leg, you can use the same pattern to make another leg. Once the second leg finished, we don't need to cut the yarn off. We can connect those 2 next together and keep moving up to finish the pant and connect the 2 arms together as well. I will show you how to do the connecting part and the main body part in the next video. For now, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you give it a thumb up and subscribe to my channel for more crochet tutorials. Thanks for watching. This is Coco Crochet. See you soon in the next video. Hope you have a great Christmas. Bye bye.